Welcome to another video. It's Tuesday nights, bonsai nights. Every night's bonsai night. Every night is bonsai night. When I get bored or I'm not making robots and blowing things up. Good night to be blowing things up though. I'm not out. I couldn't be asked. It's firework night. I can see them out the window. Beautiful. Beautiful. Plus I've got the cats and the dogs here. And they freak out. Bless them. The cats aren't too bad actually. They're quite happy looking at fireworks. They're quite curious. But the dog can sense bangs and things that I can't even hear. Yeah, she's freaked right out. She'll be in a minute. Beth's just taking her out really quickly. It went a bit quiet in the village. It's been quiet for half an hour or so. It'll probably kick off again in about, it's 6:15. Yeah, it'll kick off again in a minute. So they'll be back in a minute with a frantic dog. You probably won't see her. She'll probably just curl up in the corner. Bless her. Yeah, so I'm just me doing stuff. Love it. I was fixing my bike. Gave up on that. Just giving it a once over, end of year, it's kind of service, which is good fun, all good fun. So anyway, thought I'd do a bit of bonsai because I don't get enough of that in my life. Don't do enough of that. Now I thought I'd bring in these three junipers. We've got 3 junipers here, just to clean up. This one needs a load of leaves picked out of it and a bit of dead taken off where it's been sat in the garden. The trees that expelled leaves. He's caught them. So we'll just do a bit of tidying up, get rid of some stuff, have a once over, look for insects, anything that's been doing any damage. I'm pretty good where I live. I don't get that many insects. The only boring insects I get are the ones that don't talk to me. No, the boring insects I get are generally wasps and bees. Yeah, I've had a lot of issues with wasps. They look like little yellow jackets, but they're not. I don't even know if they're a wasp. They might be a fly. I don't know. They're yellow and black, striped, but they're a lot more. Best way to describe them, they're a lot more modernised than a normal wasp. They're like more triangular. They look more like Lamborghini. They're a Lamborghini of the wasp world. I never really spotted them. Anyway, yeah, they're little buggers. They've bored into a few of my tanukis, but fortunately, they've only gone into the deadwood, the actual tanuki part of the tree. But even so, it's annoying. I don't want it. I had a bee bore into one of them as well. It was like, I don't know what kind of bee it was. It was like a honeybee, but a lot smaller. Like a lawn bee. Has anybody heard of a lawn bee? Somebody mentioned it years ago to me and I thought they were winding me up. But yeah, there is such a thing as a lawn bee. They've obviously got a Latin name or some name. Because what were they called before lawns were invented? Lawns haven't been around that long, have they? No. Anyway, look into it. Let me know. Yeah, I might look into it. I like things like that. Yeah, so yeah, bees generally. Flying insects. They're the ones that bore in. But the good thing is you can hear them when they're doing it. You can hear them munching away. A proper munch. So yeah, I thought I'd get this one in because I've only had this one since early part of summer. Shimpaku. Bought it from Exmouth Bonsai on the beach. I've mentioned it in other videos. I did style it. Well, I did kind of do a bit to it when I first got it home. because it needed it, and I was all excited. Had a new tree. Yeah, it didn't look anything like this, but it's looking fantastic now. It's put on a little bit of growth, but the colour's freshened up. It's gone that typical Shimpaku colour now. You can probably tell the difference in colour between this one and this one, which is a Chinensis. Chinensis tend to be a little bit yellower, a greeny yellow. Shimpakus tend to go a bit like a blaw's, bluey, very dark, very dense growth, which is good. All this is all new growth on the end, so it's done really well. Just got it in a mica pot. Did a shari on it straight away because I got carried away. As soon as I got home, I was like, "Oh yeah, let's do this." So yeah, I did put a shari on. You can't see it very well because I wound sealed it. I always do that for the first either 6 months or a year, so it heals up the tissue either side, and then I clean it, then I carve it. So all I do is strip the bark back. That's the first stage. Strip the bark back. I've done the same on this one as well because I did the shari on this end of the summer. Yeah, I didn't wound seal it though. I didn't wound seal it. I should have done, but I didn't want to spoil the look. Very selfish of me. But I've done loads of sharis without wound sealing. Yeah, it is a pain in the ass to clean up, but if you're going to carve it, it doesn't matter. You just take the top layer of wood out anyway. So yeah, I'll zoom in a minute and you'll be able to have a look. So I might clean this up a little bit. I'll just see how well it's healed. As I say, I don't know this tree. I don't know this tree very well. I've only had it a few months. But I now know the roots are pretty good because obviously I looked at them when I repotted it. The tree itself seems quite healthy, being the fact that I put a shari in and I wired it and I repotted it, and it still pushed out lots of new growth. So I'm happy that the tree's happy. But even so, I'd like to get to know this tree for another couple of years really before I start doing anything really extreme to it. Not that I probably will. It's looking nice. It's looking like a bonsai, because when I picked it up, it was not. It was just raw material in a pond pot, one of them mesh pots, which obviously has done it good, because it was fairly healthy when I got it, but I got a feeling whoever had it before, it didn't get a lot of sunlight, or it was amongst other raw material. There was a few dead areas in the foliage. It was like it was getting lack of light, or it was tucked away. I get that. I got trees that I do that with. So it's helped being out. I haven't had it in direct sunlight. I've had it in basically morning sun, and up till about well, I say morning, so yeah, up to about 1-2 o'clock, and then I have been misting it. I've been misting it quite a bit. I do with most trees. Even the amount of rain we've had, they still dry out very quick in the summer. It can rain all day, and then you have an hour's worth of not even sun. It doesn't have to necessarily be sun. It does start to dry out. So I was misting it. In there, I've got a load of wires I need to take off. As I say, I wired it. This whole apex I brought down because it was up here. It was all the branches were up. So I pulled it all down tight. Didn't prune anything. I didn't prune nothing, hence why all these bottoms are still all a bit loose. They're all hanging and dangling. But that's fine. Strengthen the tree up. I probably won't prune this. I probably won't prune it next year. I don't think. I think I'm going to leave it, because I've learnt over the years, which I'll talk about this one in a minute. I've learnt over the years, if you really want to make a tree, especially juniper, strong and fatten everything up, you need to let things go. Not let things go leggy, do the initial, bring everything in, but all these individual tips, let them fatten up, because you want as maximum sunlight, energy into that trunk. It probably won't do anything for a year or so, because I've repotted it. It needs to sit in the pot for a few years before it really does anything to start growing, but the foundation's there. And I say, I paid next to nothing for this little tree. I was very surprised on what the chap was asking, but it's great, and that's what I love about people that do bonsai and grow bonsai, starter material. It's almost like they do it for a passion, like I do. People do it for a passion. It's a challenge. I hate throwing things away, so cut-ins and all that. I tend to do as many as I can. So it's more of a hobby, a passion for them to grow things like this and just have loads of them lying around in the garden. And it is to me. So, and it's got like a lovely outcome where then they offer the trees at a really reasonable price. So the point I'm making, if you ever get to a bonsai show, 9 times out of 10, you got somebody selling their raw material, or trees that they haven't got time for, and it's a great opportunity. That's another thing. If people haven't got time for trees, and I totally get that, because you do get carried away. You grow as many as you can, and then you get to a point you think, blimey, can't cope with this. Well, you can cope, but you start making sacrifices, start making mistakes, start missing things on trees that really need it. And yeah, I think it's great. I think it's one of them beautiful things in bonsai. Anyway, I haven't got a clue what I'm banging on about, literally. I wasn't going to do a video tonight. I was going to sit down and watch a bit of rubbish on Netflix, but no, I couldn't be asked. So yeah, Shimpaku, lovely little tree. It's going to be a great one for the future. Brought this one in, the Chinensis, because this one reminded me on this one when I first got it. I've had this one 6 years, I think yeah, 6 years I've had this. I've got a photo of it when I first got it. I'll put it somewhere on the screen. You can see what it looked like the first year. It was really healthy the first year I got it, but it was just a ball, like a bush, and it was only about this big, about this tall. It was, yeah, it was probably my first ever expensive tree that I bought from a bonsai nursery. I bought a few expensive trees from garden centres, but an actual bonsai, this was probably the biggest outlay that I'd actually done. Yeah, and I know people don't like to talk about price when it comes to bonsai, but I've got a feeling I paid 240 quid for it, which was a lot of money. It is a lot of money. But it taught me a lot of things, this tree, because I was already committed to trees. I had loads of them at the time. But the price of it made a difference. Because I'm thinking, I need to keep this alive. 200 odd quid is a lot of money to lose on something that's going to die. And I wasn't really worried, but what I wanted to do was to pick my game up and educate myself and not get caught out, and have that possibility that the tree dies on me. So people talk about money and the price of bonsais. It was a positive for me. I say it was a lot of money at the time. It really was. But it really kicked me up the arse to start learning properly and to start not appreciating trees more, but to appreciate the whole learning side, the educational side. If the tree had died and I hadn't done anything, I would have been really disappointed, of course, and I would have, But if the tree had died and I'd done my best, then you can't ask for any more than that. So I didn't want to put myself into a position where I didn't want to blame myself at the end of it, basically. I'm waffling on again. But yeah, that's how this tree really started to teach me things. Learning about, and not just junipers, learning about other species. Because obviously the trees I already had were becoming better and better. And just started learning a bit of everything, really. This tree, I've not really changed in design. The basic branch structure is the same as what it was when I first got it. I think I removed a few higher ones that made it a little bit too top heavy in the early days. I obviously added the shari. I did that this year. The reason why I did that, I didn't want to, because this tree always looks so natural to me. But the problem I had was where this bottom branch comes out, this part on this bend was always bigger than what the trunk was, like the nabari, the beginning of the base. So it always had this weird inverse taper. It always looked like it was being strangled down here. So what I did to begin with, I'll put a shari down. I don't know if you can see. I put a shari just down to this area. You can see where the original one was. So there was still bark all down these, all over the roots. It was just down this area. But what it did, it made it even more obvious, because your eye followed the shari and straight away you saw this, and you saw that this was thicker than down here. And it was only I only did that for 6 months, and I thought, right, okay, it looks worse now than what it did before. Because what I intended was to keep this tissue growing down here, so it fattened up. In the end, I just thought, no, the only way I'm going to do this is if I shari. It is just around the corner. It's just there. You can see in there. It's just there. So this will start to heal and encroach around. But what it's done is your eye flows with the shari now and not the outside of the trunk. Especially on camera. I looked a minute ago on camera and it looks totally different on camera, because the camera picks up the whiteness, the shari. It doesn't pick up the actual thickness of the trunk. It's a weird one. So yeah, it was a bit of a compromise, but I'm glad I did it. And I'm glad I did it in stages as well. If I'd done this straight away, I would have always had it in the back of my mind, what would it have looked like if I'd just done this bit? So I'm glad I tried it. And it's, I learned something. You need a flow. You need something to take your eye off of the area that is an imperfection or a flaw. But I mean, this tree's beautiful. I love it. I don't really do a lot to it. All I do is just prune it back. I do put a bit of I've wired it heavily in the past, bring down branches, introduce all this structure. But regarding actual branch positioning of this wonderful trunk, I haven't really done a lot. The main concentration on this tree over the last 6 years was really making it 3-dimensional. I really struggled with that because when it was first, when I first got it, it was very 2-dimensional. These back branches, there was nothing to them. It was almost dead straight. It was, in fact, I think it was almost inversed. It was weird. Obviously imported the tree. But yeah, it had no 3-dimension to it. So I've really grown these out to give definition on the back. In fact, it's got a little bit too much now, but that's fine. I can always take them back. These will push out. I wouldn't mind bringing the top down a little bit more in the future. But yeah, that's been the main aim the last 6 years, get this 3-dimensional. But yeah, this tree's taught me a lot. Yeah, it's a lovely little tree. So there we go. Brought this one in. This is a cut-in off of this one, believe it or not. This little baby, this was a cut-in last year, and I potted it up beginning of this year in the spring because it had rooted. Put it in this nice little Chinese pot. Quite an unusual pot. Got this from Devon Bonsai. Yeah, he's got some lovely little pots down there. Oh, I got this from Devon Bonsai as well, the Chinensis. Yeah, should have added that. Yeah. Yeah, nice little starter tree, this one. Bit of fun, this one. Yeah, a bit of fun. But again, I'm going to take the wire off it tonight. Give it a once over. Just give it a health check, make sure everything's all right. Yeah, and that's about it really. I'm just going to fanny around for a bit. Just have a good look. Have a good look in here. See what's going on. Where it's healed, it's healing well. This one, it's hard to see the shari on this because I say I put some wound sealant on it, and it's camouflaged the wood. But it looks pretty good. It looks like it's healing really well, actually, considering. Yeah, considering it was only done probably 6 months ago, if that. Yeah, it's looking really good. It's got a really interesting base to it as well. See if I can. I'll take the camera off the tripod and we'll have a bit of a zoom. We can get in there now and have a look. There you go. So there's the shari. It's very natural looking. So I haven't carved it. I just literally ripped the tissue back, and then it continues around on the outside of that part of the branch. This bit here is fattened right up, I've noticed. It's got a little bit heavy actually. Might have to reduce that down. Takes your eye off of things. But that's just, yeah, it's because I've taken the tissue back in areas and it's putting the energy into what's left. So it might need controlling a little bit better. But yeah, it's looking nice. Quite an interesting nabari for a juniper. You can get away with something like this on a juniper. Wouldn't look very good on a maple or anything else, but on a juniper, yeah, it'd be quite nice. Nice rock. If anybody watched the Chinensis, the bacon sandwich of bonsai video, this rock actually came with the funny looking Chinensis, the one I got at the bonsai on the beach. Yeah, I put it in here just to balance it out a little bit. But yeah, it's looking good. This wire needs taking off. I don't want to let it cut in. If it hasn't set, not to worry. I'll just redo it. Patience. But yeah, very lucky to end up with this little tree. Very nice. And well, let's have a look at this little one. Here we go, cutting. So this cutting was done last year, springtime. So it's 18 months old. 18 months ago I cut this off of the Chinensis to the left. It's doing well. I've got hundreds of these. Well, not hundreds, but I've got over 100 of them. 120 to be exact. Well, give or take 2 or 3. Planted about 160. I lost about 40. But it was because we had too much rain. And the early part of the spring, when I did a load, I put them in the greenhouse. And normally they would have taken, but I had to take them out of the greenhouse because we had so much rain. I was putting white pines and things like that in there to keep them dry. So the cuttings have been out, and a lot of them just got washed. The soil got washed away because they're all in little pots. Yeah, they got monsooned. So I lost. Well, you work it out. I lost like not a third. I lost, well, a good percentage of them, which was a shame. But I still end up with 120. Still way more than what any one person needs, really. But they'll all be good. They'll all be good. So I'll give them away or whatever. Develop the ones that I'd get attached to. But yeah, nice little pot this. It's like a jadey kind of colour. Yeah, Devon Bonsai. Yeah, I haven't got a stamp. But yeah, nice bonsai that. Well, nice bonsai pot, not bonsai. Got a bit of lava rock stuck in the top. Just because I had some lava rock lying around, as you do. As I live next to a volcano. Famous one, obviously. Everybody knows about. One that's in South Devon. No, I'm joking. So yeah, here we go. Right, let's zoom in. There we go. You can see the root structure. So you can see what I want about that inverse on this side. It was really bold. It was just bulbous here, and just, yeah, we're really restricted around this area. So this will fatten up and add more of a bulge this side as this tissue heals and grows. So it'll balance this side. That was my idea. And also to follow your eye. You see the original shari I did. You see that black line, slight change in colour. That was the original one I did. But as I said, as soon as you looked at this, you noticed the difference in width straight away. Didn't look right. And I needed to keep this branch. I could have brought the shari under more, but didn't want to put this branch under too much stress. And the line down this part, it needed to thicken up. You can't have just one line all the way up. You need depths in tissue as you do in sharis. So it was a compromise, but I'm glad I did it. It looks so much better. It takes your eye. You're not following that inverse. Yeah, great tree. Love this tree. Great branch structure. Great movement. Very lucky to end up with it. Very lucky. So yeah, thank you, Neil from Devon Bonsai. Yeah, very nice little tree. Right, that's it. I'm actually gonna get dirty now. I'm not gonna bother video and everything. And so all I'm gonna do is take the wire off of this one. Got some wire to take off of this one. and just, yeah, and obviously the little baby. Yeah, and that's it. And then I'm gonna probably go to bed because it's been a long day. Not that I could probably sleep because there's loads of fireworks going off. But yeah, okay, right. Love you and leave you guys. Happy Guy Fawkes night. Well, you're probably all out watching fireworks. You probably watch this tomorrow. Don't blame you. But yeah, hope you've had fun, and hope you enjoyed the video. Catch you soon.